Hello, today I am going to be talking to you about 5 health and fitness unhealthy habits that will just make you feel like crap. Yes, crap, garbage, dog shit. But lucky for you, I'm going to teach you how to avoid all these things too. Welcome to Boom 50 Fitness. My name's Regan, and this is your channel for all things health and fitness in your 50s and beyond. Numero uno, eating processed foods. If you are just walking around the supermarket, guess how many foods on those shelves are processed? You're not going to believe this, 73%. So there is clearly an overconsumption of these shelf-stable foods. So that means that most people are consuming 60% of their daily calories from processed foods. And that means a whole lot of people are walking around overfed and undernourished. These foods are explicitly designed to drive overconsumption. And if you overconsume, you're just not going to feel good. And most of these processed foods are really low in protein and consist of mostly carbohydrates and fat. And we all know that protein is the most satiating macronutrient. Or maybe you didn't know that, but I do talk about that quite a bit on this channel, and I will link up above a video on protein for you to check out. So if you tend to reach for processed foods, you're probably going to walk through life a little bit more hungry than you need to be. There's so much research out there now about the negative effects of processed foods, anywhere from obesity to diabetes, and then farther down the line, even dementia. This is a kind of staggering statistic that I just heard. For every 10% of processed food that one person eats, their risk of getting dementia increases by 25%. So if you want to feel like crap throughout your day, go ahead and eat processed foods. But think about the increase in these health risks. And that might help you change your mind and decide not to eat the ultra-processed foods. So I mentioned the grocery store earlier, or maybe I called it the supermarket, but when you are there, shop the perimeter because most of the bagged stuff and the boxed stuff is in the middle. So you want to get the single ingredient foods as much as possible. So all the fruits and veggies and nuts and those kind of things, that's what you want to fill your shopping cart with. And really, really limiting the amount of processed foods. And by the way, fast food would be considered processed foods. So be careful, limit that, everything in moderation, but get the majority of your diet from fruits, vegetables, and all other single ingredient foods. Number 2, health and fitness unhealthy habit that will just leave you feeling like crap is living a sedentary lifestyle. Yeah, that means just sitting on your butt more than you're standing. 1 in 4 adults is completely sedentary. That is just too high of a statistic. So the sedentary behavior is a massive problem. I know so many of you out there have jobs where you have to sit at a computer most of the day, and many of you are getting your workouts in before work or after work or maybe even at lunchtime, and that's amazing, but you have to move throughout the day as well. So a good rule of thumb is to set an alarm on your phone for every half hour and to get up and move just 2 minutes. That might seem like a lot, but you'll work for 28 minutes and then just get up off your butt and move around the office for 2 minutes or move around your house or wherever you're at. Just move your body and walk for 2 minutes every half hour. So the non-exercise physical activity is just crucial. So even if you are getting your workout in the morning or in the afternoon or somewhere in the middle, you still have to do the walking, which would be the non-exercise physical activity. The value of just moving your body is huge. The other thing that just simple walking will do is it will decrease your blood sugar. So After every meal, try to go for a little walk. It doesn't have to be a long one. Just 2 to 5 minutes will help bring your blood sugar levels back to normal. And if you're on a fat loss journey, which so many of you out there are, you've got to move a lot. Number 3 is dehydration. If you want to feel like crap, dehydrate your body. No, I'm not telling you to do that, but I will tell you why it will make you feel like crap. And staying hydrated is not actually just simply drinking more water, although that is very important. But you want to make sure you have a balance of electrolytes in your body. And from person to person, it will vary what your electrolyte needs will be. If you're a big sweater, you're going to need more electrolytes in your body. Or people on a ketogenic diet or a low carbohydrate diet like I'm on will need more electrolytes because they are not going to get those electrolytes from the foods that they're consuming. And what are electrolytes made up with? Well, there's calcium, potassium, magnesium, chloride, sodium. So when you sweat, most of what you'll be losing is sodium, well, and a little bit of chloride. So it's really, really important to replenish your electrolytes. And I'm actually going to leave a link down below with my favorite. It's called Element. And I drink it every day, even on the days that I'm not sweating profusely, because I am on a low carb diet and I know I'm not getting the sodium that my body needs. So I do an Element drink every single day. It's delicious. You will love it. It is the best way to replenish those electrolytes, I promise. So as little as 2% dehydration can impair your cognitive function. So when we wake up, we're in a state of dehydration. So as soon as you wake up, you want to start replenishing those fluids. I keep a big water bottle right on my nightstand and drink it right away as soon as I get up, probably about a minimum of 16 ounces. You could even start your day with one of those electrolyte drinks, one of the good ones, like I mentioned down below, the Element. Stay away from the Gatorades and the drinks like that because they're just packed with sugar. An Element has no sugar in it, but you can start your day with that. And it's a great way to get your body rehydrated. And it gets a little confusing because we were told at one point not to use a lot of salt out of the salt shaker or not to eat foods that had a lot of salt. But we're talking about those ultra processed foods like we did in the beginning that contained so much salt. But with so many of you guys out there leaning towards a whole foods diet, and if you're not already, lean in towards that whole foods diet. And if you are, you will not be getting the amount of sodium that your body needs. So that's when you want to reach for something like Element. The sodium will actually help you draw water in to the muscles. So it's even more important if you work out hard, or really if you just work out at all. But electrolytes will not magically make you hydrated. You have to drink a lot of water throughout the day as well. What I have my clients do is commit to a gallon of water every single day on top of any electrolyte drink or tea or coffee or anything like that. You've got to add that gallon of water as well. And yeah, you'll be going to the bathroom probably more often than you're used to. One of the things I do that has been really helpful is I front load my hydration. So as soon as I wake up, like I said, I just drink a whole bunch of water and I consume most of my beverages, meaning water or my electrolytes, by about 4 o'clock. Yes, I have tea at night and I drink water at dinner, but most of my hydration has come in the earlier part of the day. Now, I've learned this through experience. It's so much better for me to front load my hydration earlier in the day because we've all been there where it's like 3 in the afternoon and you realize you just haven't had enough to drink and so you just start chugging. Well, better off to front load it earlier in the day. Like I said, I drink a couple glasses of water as soon as I wake up, and then I have a couple cups of tea, tons of water on top of the water that I first woke up with. I have an electrolyte drink. So by about 4 in the afternoon, I have been hydrating so well throughout the day, and then I start to taper off a little bit. Yes, I do love my night tea and I drink water at dinner, but I do start to taper off later in the day. And why do I taper off? Well, I don't want to be waking up all night to pee. I actually do wake up once in the night to use the bathroom, but there have been times where I just stay so hydrated throughout the day and into the evening that I'm waking up multiple times, and you don't want to be so hydrated or overly hydrated that it disrupts your sleep. I think we'll talk more about sleep in a little bit, but let's go into number 4. Don't hate me, but drinking alcohol will make you feel like crap. And I know I'm not telling you to give up alcohol completely, but the thing that will really make you feel like crap, because it will disrupt your sleep, is if you drink until you fall asleep. So if you want to keep enjoying your cocktails, your wine, your beer, go for it. But be done drinking alcohol at least 3 hours before you hit the sack. So if you love a little wine now and then, or your beer, or your cocktails, you know, your vodka, your tequila, your whiskey, whatever it may be, as you get older, it does get more difficult to metabolize alcohol. I stopped drinking about 5 months ago, and I don't think I've had a drink in 5 months. Maybe I had one when I went out to dinner with some friends. But I probably didn't drink the whole thing. But I've never felt better. And I am not telling you not to drink, and I'm not saying I'll never drink again. But when I wake up in the morning, I feel so much better. And I know some of you out there probably have your glass of wine every night and you think that relaxes you. And yes, it probably does. But you may not realize how great you would feel if you didn't have that glass of wine every night. I mentioned this a second ago, but your body, as you get older, really does struggle more to metabolize alcohol. And there's a good reason for that. The enzyme that's in your liver, as you get older, mostly this occurs in late 40s to early 50s and beyond, but this enzyme really diminishes. So it does make it much harder for your body to metabolize that alcohol, meaning it stays in your system a lot longer. And as you probably know, if you've been on this channel before, is we start to lose muscle mass as we age. And muscle is a huge reservoir for water. And because we lose some of that muscle mass, we tend to carry less water. Well, we do carry less water than when we were younger. So if you do choose to drink alcohol one night of the week or a couple times a week, then make sure you're drinking a big glass of water in between drinks if you're having more than one drink. And I would really try to limit the alcohol to 1 to 2 drinks. And really, if you want to feel like crap, drink until you go to bed. But we don't want you to feel like crap. So make sure you stop drinking alcohol 3 hours before you plan to hit the sack, or a minimum of 2. And why is that? Because alcohol will affect your sleep quality significantly. You may think that you're sleeping great because you pass out as soon as you hit the pillow, but it is the complete opposite. So many studies have shown now that the sleep quality that you get after a night of drinking is really, really poor. And that can lead to so many things the next day. You know, you will be dehydrated. You probably won't make the smartest choices. Your brain will just be a little fuzzy, and you may not feel as motivated to get the things done that you need to do. So it's just not going to make you feel good. So if you decide to have that glass of wine or the beer or the cocktail, just have it at least 3 hours before you go to bed. And what did I say, a minimum of 2? Yeah, just try to do that. It will make a difference, I promise. And sleep quality is so important. And that leads me right into number 5. If you want to feel like crap, don't get a good night's sleep. I think we all know this by now, that it is really hard to discount the importance that sleep has on our optimal health. Getting a good night's sleep is like pushing the reset button on all aspects of your biology. I've said this before, but a great night's sleep does not start when you hit the pillow. I'm gonna link above here 10 ways to get a great night's sleep, because it really is so important. We can't underestimate the importance of a great night's sleep. I know this is something that a lot of people don't think about. Well, actually, people are thinking about it more and more now because we hear so much talk about the importance of sleep, but you need to prioritize that sleep. And I've talked about cortisol levels a lot on this channel, and I'll link a video up here about cortisol and do you have high cortisol? You probably don't even know if you do or not. But cortisol is the hormone that if it spikes too much, it usually leads to fat, especially belly fat. So if you are not getting a good night's sleep, your cortisol levels will be elevated the next day. So you've got to find those ways. Check out that video I mentioned about the 10 tips on getting a great night's sleep, but you've got to find those ways to do it for yourself, because sleep is so important. I love you all so much for watching. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. I never ever want you to feel like crap. So if you want to feel your best in your 40s, or like me in your 50s and beyond, please smash that subscribe button. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. My name's Regan. This is Boom 50 Fitness, your new BFF, and I will see you next Thursday.